Welcome to Emotional Response. This is Ivory, again, Life Coaching with Ink, joining you again on this beautiful morning. It's a little cold in Philly. However, it's still a beautiful morning because we're breathing, we're moving, our limbs is moving, we're stretching, we're tackling the day, whether it's work, whether it's school. Regardless what your schedule is, it's a good day because you're able to go through it and wake up and stretch. So let's give thanks to that. Okay, this is part 2 to anger management, and I will be covering 3 parts under anger management. I will be going over the warning signs, the patterns, and then the solutions. As I've said in part 1, anger is normal. It's normal and it's healthy. A lot of people put negative connotations on different emotions because through the years they have been identified as negative because of the results that come out of the emotions. However, the emotion is not bad. It's the management of the emotion, whether it's sad, angry, happy, like flustered, however you label those emotions, they only become negative because of the results thereof. However, the feeling that you feel is normal because it makes you human. It's okay to be angry, and I can't emphasize that enough. It's so much okay to be angry that even on a theological stance, that the Bible even writes that be angry. It's okay to be, but it's the after effects. Now, what do you do with that anger after you feel it? That's when it becomes detrimental to even your experience, whatever you're going through, or detrimental to your life. It could put everything at stake and you could lose everything just over one feeling of anger. Because the feeling of anger, if not managed, will have someone moving in a direction, and it's like a snowball at the top of a mountain. It starts off small, and then as it goes down the mountain, it pedals into this big, gigantic ball. And so when anger is not managed, it becomes that big, gigantic ball, and you find yourself stuck at that point because it's so big that you can't manage it. And the intensity behind the emotion is so strong that you only see but to react out of that emotion. However, that's why I said, as well as you have a heart, you have a mind. You have the ability to kick logic and kick reasoning. Think about consequences. Think about the full scope of circumstances. See the bigger picture and then halt and stop yourself. So, understanding what anger is. Anger is not to be suppressed, not to be dampened, not to be something that you make disappear. Anger is a feeling that you're supposed to understand and understand the message behind the emotion and express it in a healthy way without losing control. Again, let me repeat. Anger is not a feeling that you're supposed to suppress, but rather a feeling that you're supposed to understand the message behind the emotion and express it in a healthy way without losing control. When you do, you not only feel better, you also be more likely to get your needs met. You really do, because people hear your message more than your delivery. They hear the message, okay? Nobody's perfect, so you're never going to deliver something so eloquently that it rules out all imperfections. However, when you manage anger, it makes you come down a notch. Take the intensity of behind the emotion out and deliver your message and say, this is why I'm upset. This is why I'm flustered. This is why I'm frustrated. That's why it's so key to manage your anger. And then you have a better ability to manage conflict in your life. There's no avoiding conflict. I can say that in so many different ways. Unless you move to an island where no one's there, there's no way you can avoid conflict. Conflict will occur. As long as you have two people in a room with two different mindsets, two different upbringings, two different worldviews, you will have conflict. And knowing that, it's so key to be heard and not seen. People could see the anger monster and miss the message. And so they see you swinging your arms, getting irate, and they miss the whole message. And sometimes situations do bring you to that point. However, they should be far and few in your life when you do get to that point. Because you're an adult. And adults conduct themselves in such a way that is productive to their life. You can understand a child when a child is in a toy room and they get angry and they snatch the toy and they just start going all crazy. You can get it there. But now you're an adult. So you can't behave as a child that has behaved. You have to, along the way of growing up, gain wisdom, understanding, direction, and then be an effective person in your community, in your family, in your business, however it is. And when you don't, childlike tendencies do spur up. And people look at you a different way. And so you feel justified in your emotion because of the intensity behind it. However, people miss the message. And the message that you're trying to convey is you're upset. There's always a root to something. There's always a root to something. And then you strengthen your relationships when you have anger management. So knowing it, is key. There are certain physical signs that you can see in your life and the way you conduct yourself that will show that your anger is intensifying. And to find these signs, you have to spend time with yourself. I can't stress it enough. You should know you more than anybody else in this world knows you. No one should have to look and say, oh, this is what's happening. And you be shocked. You always do this. And you be shocked. You should spend enough time with yourself that you know when you're getting to the point where your anger is about to lose control. And you're able to manage it. Now, it is a such thing in psychology called the Johari's window. And the Johari's window, one aspect, and I'm not going to dive too deep into it, but one aspect of social connections is through the Johari's window, people are able to pull out stuff that you don't see in yourself that's kind of like a blind spot. And then you're made aware of it, and then you're able to deal with it, embrace it, and move further into a deeper understanding of yourself. So that does happen. However, you should daily, take the time to spend time with you, to understand your emotions. Self-reflection is key. Waking up in the morning and just assessing your emotions and seeing why you feel or why you wake up a certain way. These are things you gotta look at. So the warning signs might be knots in your stomach, clenching your hands or jaws, feeling clammy or flushed, breathing faster than you usually breathe, headaches. All of a sudden, you are about to pop. You feel like a balloon, and it's just like, and so your brain goes in override, and so you're about to pop. Pacing or needing to walk around. You sitting still, and all of a sudden, something consumes you to the point that I gotta walk around. I gotta get out. I gotta do X, Y, and Z. Seeing red. People think it's a game. It's a cartoon. It's something that only happens if somebody draw it out and put it on Walt Disney. However, there are many times through history and through understanding humans that people start seeing red. They black out. And so you have to notice these things. The pounding of your heart, the tensing of your shoulders, having trouble concentrating. You can't shift off of the thought that you're feeling right now. And so because of that, you feel overwhelmed and flustered to the point that you can't even concentrate. So when you feel the knots in your stomach, the clenching in your hands, the feeling of clamminess, the breathing faster, the headaches, the pacing or needing to walk, seeing red, all of a sudden certain things become certain color, having trouble concentrating, pounding of the heart, tensing your shoulders. When you see those things, take 2 steps back. I know the feeling might be intense, but take 2 steps back. It's like driving down the street and you look at your dashboard and you see that you need gas. That warning sign comes on for a second. And so wherever you have to go or wherever you thinking you're going and whatever you thinking you have to do, you have to stop and have to go fill that tank up. And so when you see these physical warning signs, you should be able to stop. Take 2 seconds back and then recognize, okay, my anger is about to lose control. And when you feel those feelings and you see those warning signs and you see yourself getting to that point, now you say, okay, I'm an adult. Nobody should be able to manage me as much as I manage myself. What do I need to do? And that's when the solution comes in. That's when the solution comes in. That's when the anger management comes in. You shouldn't be angry every day and acting on your anger every day. There should be a time where every day that you feel anger, you're able to process it. If you have a tendency to drive and get road rage, catch yourself, realize what's going on, see the warning signs, and take 2 steps back. But before I go through